Hi friends, this is Steph. Welcome to my kitchen. It is Monday morning and what I'm doing here is I have decided to make a nice meatloaf for dinner today. It's still early in the day, but I have the time to mix it together and I thought I would just go ahead and do that. So I have several packages of ground beef that I had frozen, and there's also a little bit of ground pork. Then there's brown sugar, pepper, salt, garlic, onion, and Italian seasoning. Just a little tiny bit of ketchup to use up. I'm going to add a touch of Worcestershire sauce, an egg, and I've got over here, I've got some onions that I will chop up and put in. And then I have this apple cut up because I'm going to do some baked pork chops with apple and onion, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But first I'm going to go ahead and mix up the meatloaf, and I've already got some breadcrumbs here in the bowl. So at this point I have the meatloaf mixed up, and I divided it into two portions. I'm just going to shape it into two small loaves and cover it with foil and put it in the refrigerator until I come back home, and then I'll bake it probably for about an hour. And I'll also make a little bit of a glaze, just the usual, with mustard, ketchup, brown sugar, maybe a little bit of herbs. So that will make a nice dinner tonight, and also lots of leftovers. I like cold meatloaf sandwiches, probably even more than I like meatloaf. So I'll have lots to put in the freezer. Alright guys, I will see you a little bit later. Okay guys, it's time to put the meatloaf in the oven, and I'm going to turn the temperature to 350 degrees. And the next thing I'll do is just season these pork chops and brown them in the skillet in a little bit of oil. I'll be adding the apple and the onion and a little bit of water. I'll cover it with foil and bake it for about 45 minutes, and then I'll check it and see if it's done. Then I'll just remove the foil and let it brown a little bit. So here goes. I'm mixing up a real easy glaze for the meatloaf. First I'm going to put a little bit of ketchup in this cup, about a third of a cup. And then a couple of drops of Worcestershire sauce, a teaspoon of brown sugar, and I have a little bit of sweet chili sauce here that I'm just going to combine with this stuff. Might as well use it up, right? And sweet and spicy is good with meatloaf. So just get that all in there. And then just stir it up. You can do your own sauce a number of different ways. You know, some people use pineapples in the juice and make a little thickener. But I usually use ketchup, brown sugar, mustard, and then some kind of a sweet and sour thing like vinegar. But this is what it's going to be today. So let me give it a little taste. It's good. I like it. Okay, the pork chops are nice and tender, and I am just going to take them out of the skillet here, or this pan, and put them on a platter. Oops. Oh, a little hard to grab there. Okay. And I'm going to leave the onion and the apples that are in there. Just going to leave them in there. And then I'm going to make a slurry, and I'm going to cook a gravy out of these juices. I tasted the gravy for seasoning and added a little bit more salt. And I'm going to turn the heat off and return the pork chops back to the pan. Looks really good. And a little bit of juices. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is cover it up with foil and put it in a low oven for just a few more minutes. Just kind of to let it absorb the gravy a little bit on the bottom. And that's pretty much it. Alright friends, it's dinner time, and I had a hard time deciding what I wanted, meatloaf or chops. So I took a little bit of each, and I have some mashed potatoes with some of the pan gravy, lima beans, and then here is some chunky applesauce that I canned a couple years ago. But there is a ton of food left over, and of course I'm going to portion it and freeze it. So thank you so much for stopping by and visiting with me in my kitchen today. I decided to do a little batch cooking, and this is going to take care of a couple of weeks of meals for me. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you soon.